Everyone. I'm Dr. Ginger Gardner, Chair of the Foundation for Women's Cancer, and I'd like to welcome you to Let's Move It, a Move for Her virtual celebration, today with Marsai Martin. We are so thankful for your involvement in Move for Her and for spending part of your Sunday here with us. We've got a great and exciting celebration together ahead. So now I'm very excited to share and to welcome with you our celebrity ambassador, Marsai Martin. Known for her roles in ABC sitcom Blackish and Universal's Little, Marsai is passionate about Move for Her and raising awareness about gynecologic cancers. Her grandmother fought a long and difficult battle with cervical cancer, and we so greatly appreciate her commitment and her energy to raise awareness for us all together. So with that, I'd like to just give a big shout out and a warm welcome. Take it away, Marsai.
Hi, guys. Oh, my goodness. So good to see y'all. This is absolutely amazing. I am so beyond grateful to be here. This is something that is very near and dear to my heart, especially for my grandmother who had cervical cancer. And I call her my booba, but y'all know her as my grandma Phyllis. She was truly an amazing spirit, and she did fight a long and hard journey throughout all this, but she is still one of the strongest and sweetest people that I know. And I wanted to use my platform and the power that I have in my platform to bring awareness to gyn cancer. And from speaking from me to my entire family, we are so happy to be a part of Move for Her and to support this amazing foundation. It is time to get started, and let's start it off with an amazing special video. Take this opportunity to get our 5 minutes of movement in all together. See, I can't see y'all. I know y'all can see me, but I know like we could do this all together. I can feel it. So let's first get some inspiration from our favorite puppies on Instagram. Over 15 dog influencers have helped raise awareness of endometrial and gyn cancer on Instagram this month. And aren't they so cute? Look at these little photo shoots. They are adorable. And FWC would like to give these pups a round of applause. A round of applause for being so public in their support of our cause. Okay, now I'm ready to move. I don't know about y'all, but who is with me? Because I am ready to demonstrate here on the screen. Follow along at home or wherever you are, and if you're able to, even if you're driving in the car, you can like pull over real quick and, hop out, whatever you need to. But let's get started. So I'm going to be leading. Let me get out my chair. I am in a dress, but you can still do this in any form of dressing you're in. But okay, so I'm gonna do 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, 3 minutes. I almost scared y'all with that. So I'm gonna stretch like this. Y'all can go like that. This is usually how I get started with my workouts. Go like this, a little stretching. All right. Now we're gonna go over 2. Let's try to do like 10 of these. 7. All right, let's see. Hopefully you move it. And then usually with me and my family, we like to dance, right? That's like the top tier perfect amount for exercising. Like you with me? Okay, I see the chat. They with me. All right. So usually I like to dance with the running man or whatever. You can't really see my legs right now. But just go like this, just kind of in place. Kind of like walk like this, in place. Then kind of move your arms like this. Yep. Move your arms like that. You can turn around with it. Hey, hey, hey. Yep. We are doing the running man. So, but like our exercise version of it. Because you can go faster, but I ain't gonna put you through that. But all together now. So you can do a little stretch. And then we can go up with it. And then hit the sides. Just like that. Yep. Okay. Now, to kick things off on a very high note, we are so excited and honored to announce the 2022 Move4Her fundraising total. Drum roll, please. Look, I'm my old drum roll. Bam! This year, the Foundation for Women's Cancer exceeded its total and raised a full $436,864 and counting. Oh my God, that is so exciting. And these funds are so crucial and go towards funding education, awareness, and research, including the Move4Her research grants. In the 3 years of Move4Her, this is the most money raised to date. So congratulations. Round of applause for that. Thank you to our participants and sponsors for your commitment, generosity, and your amazing enthusiasm. This year, we've had 477 fundraising teams and nearly 700 participants. So thank you all to everyone's generous sponsors and who made this month super successful. Mental impact in the fight to overcome gyn cancer. Your generosity funds crucial awareness initiatives like Move the Message, the FWC's national campaign to increase awareness and drive early diagnosis of the 5 gyn cancers, especially among historically marginalized communities. So here is a quick look at the many community events, new partnerships, and great content created in the past year alone. Move4Her also funds a $50,000 FWC Move4Her Research Award, awarded to a young researcher dedicated to advancing treatment of gyn cancer. Now, let's all of us give a warm welcome applause to this year's winner of the Move4Her Research Grants, Dr. Kirsten Jorgensen.
Hi, all. It's so great to be here. Thank you for inviting me to participate in this great event, and thank you to the Foundation for Women's Cancer for the generous grant to fund our research. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are super excited. Now, of course, I have a couple questions, but first of all, congratulations on this amazing achievement. So to help set the stage, can you please talk about how many women face gyn cancer and the unmet need?
As we saw in some of the introductory remarks today, we know that every 5 minutes, a person's diagnosed with one of the 5 gynecologic cancers: cervical cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine or endometrial cancer, vaginal or vulvar cancer. That comes to nearly 110,000 people each year in the United States. These cancers affect people of all ages, from teenagers to those in their 80s. And unfortunately, many are diagnosed in later stages, leading to more than 33,000 people dying of gynecologic cancers each year in the United States. One of the unfortunate reasons that people are diagnosed later in the disease course is that there are many barriers to early detection. Sometimes the symptoms can be vague or mistaken for common things like irritable bowel syndrome, and people may not know to share the symptoms that they're experiencing with their doctor, or may not have access to a gynecologic oncologist with specific expertise.
Interesting. Wow. Well, can you tell us more about what inspired you to do this research and what are you hoping to achieve?
Yeah, I was inspired to do this study because I'm really passionate about health equity and access to high quality cancer care for all. In particular, our study is focusing on finding ways to connect to people and families that may not be connected to care right now, to work to a future where, regardless of a person's race, income, or geography, they can get access to the highest quality care. The research we're doing is designed to address a really important barrier to early detection of cancers, and that's genetic testing for cancer. We know that up to 15% of ovarian and 3% of endometrial cancers are associated with 2 common genetic conditions: hereditary breast and ovarian cancer syndrome, or HBOC, and Lynch syndrome. Unfortunately, less than 1/2 of the people who have these genetic conditions have been identified. And even when they are identified and they share their test results with their relatives, less than half of those relatives get testing, even though we know those relatives are at a 50% risk of having the genetic mutation themselves. So our study is investigating ways of supporting people with genetic mutations and their family members through education, the opportunity for free genetic counseling and testing, and family genetic navigator support, to help see if we can improve communication about genetic testing and genetic conditions within families and improve the rates of family members being tested.
Wow. So what is the potential impact this research could have for patients?
We really hope to move the needle on decreasing cancers that arise from genetic conditions. We have ways to monitor, treat, and prevent these cancers from developing if only we can first identify who has these conditions. We hope patients will see this study and seek to participate with their families, and that future patients and their families will benefit from what we've learned.
Jeez. Well, can you tell us more of just your favorite ways to get your 5 minutes of movement in? Because I did my 5 minutes, but how does it impact your health?
Yeah. My favorite ways to get my 5 minutes of movement in: I really enjoy running. And while busy at work, I try to get my 5 minutes in by walking and taking the stairs. And then when I'm at home, I walk my dog, who was pictured in one of those pictures earlier. So she keeps me very active. And I think the most important thing about being active is it just makes me feel healthier and happier throughout my day.
I love that. Well, tell your dog I said hi. And no, thank you so much for joining, Dr. Jorgensen, and congratulations once again.
Well, thank you again. It's an honor to be here, and thank you so much for hosting this amazing event.
All right, now let's hear from a very different survivor, Kimberly Richardson. Kimberly was very generous enough to share her diagnosis story with us, her advice for women, and how she's been prioritizing moments in health this September. Let's hear from Kimberly.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Richardson, and I'm, of course, here from Chicago. I am a 10-year cancer survivor of granulosal cell tumor ovarian cancer. And one of the things that, I think I could talk about in terms of my diagnosis, it was pretty tumultuous. I found out that I had cancer during the surgery. Initially, I thought it was an ovarian cyst. Everyone thought it was an ovarian cyst after we did the vaginal ultrasound, but discovered during the surgery that I had cancer. One of the things I think that's really important about that is, in terms of it still being an unscreenable cancer, we have to really think about better ways to communicate the diagnosis. I think for me, coming out of anesthesia and tapping me on my shoulder and telling me I had cancer probably wasn't the best way to do it. So I think as we move forward, hopefully in the last decade, we found better, more humane and compassionate ways to convey the diagnosis. In terms of Move for Her, it's been an exciting month. I have done at least 3 things that I can think of. One, I moved to a whole food, plant-based diet. I have regained and reunited with some running friends, and we're doing a walk to run 5K and practicing for that. And then, of course, what I do here daily at home on my treadmill and on my elliptical for the Move for Her message. So I'm just grateful to have been a part of the campaign. It's been fun to get myself back in shape. And so I encourage everyone to move this message and move for you and move for her. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. And what she said, both are facts for sure. Communication is absolutely everything, whether it is with relationships, friends, and of course, when it comes to your health. And also, like, addition to communication, having friends as well to help you move the narrative, change the needle is absolutely amazing and very inspirational. So thank you so much, Kimberly. Now, next, I'd love to invite another very special guest to our virtual stage, Dr. Sharaz Chambers. So Dr. Sharaz, hey girl.
Hello, how are you, Marsai?
I'm so good. Okay, so Dr. Sharaz, she is an amazing OBGYN, women's health advocate, and a great partner to the Foundation for Women's Cancer. So, girl, thank you so much for being here. And of course, I would love to ask a few questions. But yes, first, we've been so focused on movement this month for Move for Her. So can you please talk a little bit about what movement means to you, and even just 5 minutes a day? Really, what does it control when it comes to your overall health?
Such a great question. So, of course, when folks hear 5 minutes, it seems very short. But as we've kind of echoed today, in 5 minutes, one person is going to be diagnosed with one of the 5 dying cancers every 5 minutes. And so that little bit amount of a time really can have a huge impact. Additionally, the things we do every day can impact the peaks of the highs and the depths of the lows. And so we really do have the ability to make a difference when it comes to our overall health. Even moving just 5 minutes moderately, nothing crazy, just kind of like the exercise that you did for us so elegantly earlier, can make a difference in your health. And so this is to kind of inspire folks to say, hey, you can make a difference, but also to say, hey, let's reflect and kind of understand the impact of dying cancers and what we need to do to work to improve this for everyone.
Absolutely. So, so as this is one of the biggest questions for me as well.
Okay.
So as a gynecologist
Mhm.
and a Black woman,
Yes.
can you please talk a little about the implications of racial health disparities that women of color often experience, particularly how it relates to gyne health and what we can all do?
Absolutely. So in my experience and in my reading and even in research, it shows that Black women in particular are actually diagnosed with, more likely to be diagnosed with late stage cancers, more aggressive cancers, and to be diagnosed later. So there's a delay in diagnosis. And once that diagnosis is brought about, the disease is further progressed. So it's harder to treat. There's more morbidity, as in difficulties and things that kind of affect your body, and then more mortality. So they're more likely to actually die from these diseases. And so this makes a big difference in the outcomes. And so what we can all do is, one, improve health equity, make sure that the physicians and clinicians and the researchers doing this work look like the people they're serving and actually understand the humanity of this type of work. And then also, just promoting patient advocacy, which is a lot of what I do with my platform, The Period Doctor. I promote a lot of patient advocacy so that we can engage with our doctors and ask good questions early on. As young as teenagers, we need to start asking these questions and taking an active role in our care.
For sure. Wait, you say you call yourself the period doctor?
The Period Doctor. Yes, it's my favorite thing.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so you also help with like menstrual cycles as well?
Absolutely.
And girl, I may need to talk to you then.
Offline, we'll connect.
All right. So what are 3 simple things people can do to better inform themselves about gyne cancer and to also help prevent it?
Absolutely. So I would say number 1, talk to your family. It's really interesting because we will talk about all sorts of things, all the latest gossip and things, but we don't necessarily feel comfortable talking about health. Additionally, we don't feel comfortable talking about gyne health because it seems a little bit taboo, right? We're talking about the cervix, the uterus, and all these things that we don't necessarily bring up at the dinner table, but I would say we should. We should take these opportunities of holidays, our Thanksgivings, our Christmases, when we're gathered around to say, what does our family go through? What are we at higher risk for? That's a big, big indicator to kind of guide us on our next steps. And then I'd say, talk to your doctor, talk to your healthcare provider, because they know you well and they know the medicine. They can guide you on different steps to kind of help to decrease your risk. So that could be decreasing smoking or drinking, or making sure that we work on getting to a healthy weight. Another thing can be earlier screening or surveillance, imaging, things that we don't necessarily know how to guide ourselves to do, but with the partnership of a physician or a clinician, we could make those differences. And then third, I would say have a come to Jesus moment with yourself, right? Just say, what am I doing in my daily life that I can improve? How can I make a difference? If it is encouraging your friend to say, go get that checkup, or saying, when was your last pap smear? That's one of our things we can do to prevent cervical cancer, or just bringing up the conversation of the HPV vaccine, which is huge and one of the few vaccines that can actually prevent cancer. Those are some of the things we can do. I say that to say we are all capable of pushing the needle towards prevention and hopefully eradicating these terrible cancers. And I just want us to go from hopeless to kind of hopeful and empowered.
Of course. And like you said, overall communication is everything. And I saw somebody on the chat say men don't like to talk about those type of things. But I like you said, being in family oriented spaces and being able to talk about something that feels kind of secretive, but no, it's a normal thing that most women go through. And I feel like it should definitely be heard in that way. So no, thank you for shedding a light on this. And thank you so much for being here, Dr.
Thank you,
Shires.
Marsai.
I will be hitting you up. I will see you soon. Okay. Next, we are so excited to give a big shout out to our top individual fundraiser, Gina Pettinato. Gina has raised nearly $15,000 for Move4Her this year and hosted a Play for Pink and Purple, an afternoon of tennis, pickleball, and lawn bowling to raise funds and awareness for gyne cancer. So thank you so much, Gina. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, we want to give a big shout out to another top individual fundraiser, Sharon, Miss Sharon. So thank you so much for your support, Sharon. We truly appreciate it. Now, before we head off, we have another amazing surprise that is here live from the MSK team, who just want to say a few words on behalf of their whole entire crew. Are they here live?
Hi, I'm very excited to be here as a part of Move4Her. I'm Sushmita, I'm a third-year fellow at MSK, and I support Move4Her for many reasons, but one is because they fund a lot of important research, especially for trainees. Ryan and I have both benefited from receiving FWC grants, which has helped us be very productive during our training. All of the outreach, which is really important for GYN cancers. In terms of how we move, we are in New York City, so we're constantly on the move, walking around, getting to and from work and just anywhere. So thanks again.
No, thank y'all so much. We appreciate all of y'all support. And yes, I am so sad to see y'all go. But thank y'all so much for joining us today. This was so much fun. I hope you guys had an amazing time watching and y'all learned a lot of things today. So thank y'all for being a part of our month of the movement. You helped immensely. Y'all helped to move the needle in gyne cancer awareness, and we are so grateful.